In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a reflexed tulip with its open sculptural form. You can find a link to the blog post with all of the tools and templates that I used in the video description. We're going to begin our reflexed tulip by making the pistil. So I've just got a small amount of pale green paste here. It measures about 10mm in size. And I'm just rolling it into a sausage shape with a slightly fatter end at one end and slightly narrower at the bottom. And now I'm inserting a 20 gauge wire after dipping it in some egg white, wiping off the excess, and that gets inserted into this sausage shape. Then I'm just shaping the paste down further and making sure that it's nice and tight against the wire at the bottom. And now I'm just emphasising the bulbous shape at the top, and I'm using my cutting wheel just to divide the top of the section into three. Now I'm going to pinch each of these sections using my pliers. So in between the segments that I've marked, I'm just pinching with my pliers to give this kind of effect. And there we have it, our nicely shaped pistil. And this measures about 2 to 2.5 centimetres in length. So we'll set this aside to dry now and move on to making our stamen. To do this, I'm taking a small ball of pale yellow flower paste, which measures about 6 to 7mm in size. I've inserted a short length of 30 gauge wire and just shaped it into a long sort of sausage shape between my fingers, and I've used no egg white or glue on the wire. Then I've just placed it on my mat and I'm creating little indents along the side using my cutting wheel, running along the front and the back first and then each side as well. So I've made a total of 6 of these stamen, and then I'm just slightly curving over the edges with my finger to make them look uneven. Now I've got some of my homemade sugar paste here, which I've coloured with a little bit of chestnut from Sugar Flare, and it's just given this really light brown sort of peachy colour. Just taking a small amount of the paste and I'm rubbing some white vegetable fat onto my veining board. Then once the paste is kneaded, I'm just going to roll it out over the largest vein. And we want our petals to be really nice and thin here. So then once we've rolled out nice and thin, I'm peeling off my paste, and I'm just going to roughly trim down the paste first to allow for a bit of shrinkage. And then I'm going to trim around my template. So you can find a link to the templates in the description of this video. Now I'm taking a 28 gauge wire, dipping in some egg white, wiping off the excess, and I'm going to insert it into the petal to the depth of about 15mm. Then I'm dusting with some corn flour, placing on my flower pad, and I'm just running over that vein with my ball tool and stretching out the petal slightly. You want to make sure that your edges are really nice and thin as well. Now I'm taking my Dresden tool and using the wide end, I'm running a line down the centre of the petal, just making sure to avoid the wire. Then I'm flipping the petal over and I'm going to use the narrow end of the Dresden tool just to run a line either side of that initial line that we made on the other side. I've now switched to the wide end and I'm really stretching out the sides of the petals, creating this nice veining effect with the Dresden tool. So as you see, I'm going from a sort of diagonal angle from the base of the petal and working my way up towards the top. And you want to really stretch out the petals so that you get a nice frilly edge as well. Then finally I'm going to use the wide end of the Dresden tool again just to run an indent along the top edge of the petal and all the way along the side, and that's sort of slightly curled to the edge of the petal. Then we're going to flip our petal over and lay it onto the spoon so that that curled edge is going over the edge of the spoon. And I'm sort of bringing a bit of the centre of the petal together as well so that we've still got that indent there. So I've repeated that to make a total of 6 petals, and as you can see they've got a nice texture to them from the Dresden tool, which gives them that veined effect. Now moving on to the leaves. And I've got some of my khaki green paste here again. And I'm just rolling out to a reasonable thickness to begin with of about sort of 3 or 4 millimeters. Then I flip my paste sideways and I'm just using my cell pin to create a ridge along the centre. Now that I've created a ridge, I can start to roll out the paste a bit further. So we want to get the rest of the leaf to quite a thin, sort of 1 to 2 millimeters, and just avoiding that central ridge that we created. I'm now just going to line up my template and trim around it. And I've got that ridge still lined up at the centre. Now I'm taking a length of 22 gauge wire. I'm going to dip into my egg white, wipe off the excess and then insert that into the vein. I'm going into a depth of about 3 centimeters. Now placing the leaf on my flower pad again, I'm going to use my ball tool just to thin the edges and stretch out the leaf slightly. So you may find that your leaf wants to ruffle a little bit when you do this, and that's fine. We like a bit of movement in the leaf. Now I've got some dried corn husks here, and I'm just lining up the leaf so that it's in line with the lines on the corn husk, lying another one on top and pressing to give a nice impression. And you've then got a lovely sort of textured vein effect on your leaf. So I'm now placing it in some foil and just giving it a bit of movement by curving the sides up and then curving the end of the leaf away slightly. I'm now going to repeat this process to make a slightly larger leaf as well. So just rolling out my paste again, and then using my cell pin to create that nice ridge that's going to provide the vein. Then rolling out my leaf further and making sure that my template is going to fit on top of it. And now I'll cut around my larger leaf template as well. So again, I've gone into a depth of about 3 centimeters, and I'm just going to thin the edges with my ball tool. And again, I'm going to press the leaf into the corn husk to create that nice veined effect. And then shape it in my foil. And we'll set these aside to dry completely. So because it's slightly thicker, this leaf, it will take a reasonable amount of time to dry, so definitely leave them overnight. Now moving on to dusting my petals, I'm using a mixture of this quicksand rose and salmon pink colours. So I've just blended them together and brushed them all over the front and the back of the petals. I'm then just going to use a touch of this deeper plum colour just to catch some of the veins and give them a bit of a highlight. And then I'm using a little bit of this yellow mixed with oyster just to brush into the base of the petal, and then a tiny touch of burnt orange as well. So I'm going to repeat this for the remaining 5 petals. Now moving on to my pistil, I'm going to use a bit of this yellow blended with the oyster colour again, and I'm just brushing all over the pistil, and then I'm going to take a bit of this burnt orange and brush it over the tip. Now moving on to my stamen, I'm going to do the same and dust with this sort of pale yellow colour that I've created. introducing a touch of the burnt orange just to give this slightly flamed effect. So I'm just brushing the bottom of the stamen and fading it up from the base. Now that all of my petals and pistil and stamen are all dusted, we're going to assemble the Reflexed Tulip. So I'm just starting off by adding some half-width white floral tape to the top of the wire below the pistil, and then I'm adding in my stamen one at a time so they fit around the base of the pistil. Now I'm doing a turn with the tape after each addition just to make sure it's nice and secure. And once all 6 are added, I'm just going to tape down the stem slightly to secure everything in place. And you can adjust the position so they're nicely spaced out. Then reattach your tape right at the top of the wire again. And we're going to take one petal at a time in that reflexed open shape. And again, I'm going to do one turn with the tape after each petal addition. And I'm going to space these first 3 evenly around the centre. Then I'm going to take my remaining 3 and they're going to sit as a second layer, staggered in between the petals from the layer before. Now that all the petals are added, I'm just going to tape down my stem again to make sure everything's nice and secure, and then you can make any little slight adjustments to the position of the petals as well. And I'm going to add a little bit of this plum colour to the centre of the pistil as well, just to darken it slightly. Now moving on to dusting my leaves, I've got some kiwi here and I'm going to blend it slightly with the salmon pink and quicksand rose left over from dusting the petals. So I'm brushing all over the front and the back of the leaves with this kind of green colour. Done the same with the second leaf, and now I'm just catching a bit of this plum onto the edge of the leaf to give it a bit of a highlight as well. Once they're dusted, I also like to give them a spray with confectioner's glaze to give them a light sheen and to help set the dust colour. Now we're going to thicken our stem slightly, so I've got an 18 gauge wire here. I'm just attaching some pale green floral tape to it, and I'm going to attach this to the existing wire to thicken it. So I'm taping all the way down. And then I'm reattaching my tape right at the top of the stem again, and I'm adding in a length of this gardener's tie, which is just going to thicken my stem as well and remain flexible in the process. So just carefully tape it together. You want to make sure that you keep the wire nice and straight rather than twisting them around each other, and tape all the way down the stem. Now I'm going to tape in my leaves next. You could actually skip to the next step and then tape in your leaves afterwards if you wish. You may find it easier. But I'm just attaching my tape again and then adding my leaves so that they sit just below the petals themselves. So I'm just securing them nicely to the stem, and I'll take down to cover any wires up as well. Now I'm taking a small amount of pale green paste, and we're just going to add this to the top of the stem to cover any wires, to help secure the petals and just give a slightly smoother finish to the top of our stem. So I've just flattened out a small piece of paste, added a brush of egg white onto it, and then I'm just wrapping it around my stem and pinching it into position. So it's just going to sit at the top of your stem like so, and you can just shape it down the stem and smooth it out so that it looks like it's all one piece. I'm using my Dresden tool just to move the paste and slide it up in between the petals to give a bit of stability and cover any wires. And I'm just going to keep on shaping with my Dresden tool and smoothing everything down until it looks nice and homogeneous. You can pinch off any excess paste as well in doing so. So I'm just making sure that this paste is nice and smooth and it's moving up to cover any of those top parts of the petals and the wires. And then once it's nice and smooth, we can set this aside to dry as well. Once everything's dry, we're just going to finally dust the stem. So I've got my same green plate that I used for dusting the leaves, and we're using the same colour, so it's a bit of kiwi blended with those pinks. And I'm just brushing it all over the stem and that top part of paste on the stem that we added. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. And then just adjust your leaves and any petal positions. And I'm also going to give a slight bend in the stem as well. And then that is our finished Reflexed Tulip. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Check the blog post for all of the tools and materials that I've used. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support means that I can create more free tutorials like this one.